Okay, can I get your attention, please? Thank you all for coming. Today's Passport workshop is team building, and Michael Stelly was so graciously to present on today's topic. He is from Education First Federal Credit Union. Before I turn the floor over to him, I'd like to remind everybody after you leave, be sure to scan out so you can receive credit for this event. Okay? If you all would help me and welcome Michael Stelly to the floor. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Stelly with Education First, and obviously we're going to be talking about team building a little bit about my background. I do community relations and government relations for Education First, so therefore I'm working in multiple team building environments, working with teams such as City Council, Chamber of Commerce, advocacy councils there, different programs that help build leaders within colleges such as Lamar, and multiple things. If you have questions throughout the program, please feel free to raise your hand. I'll be more than happy to answer them. All right? We're going to jump into it. Introduction, some things we're going to cover. Cell phones. Okay, so what is team building? Why is team building important in the workplace? 5 stages of team building, common problems you face, and some keys to success, and the conclusion. Okay, so what is team building? Team building refers to a wide range of activities used to improve performance and drive results. Teams are used to address problems within corporations, and team building activities increase team cohesiveness through individual self-awareness. Often activities promote self-awareness through exposing vulnerabilities and increase trust in relationships. When you're working in teams, you're going to realize some weaknesses about yourself, but it's not a bad thing. When you're working with each other, you're going to know differences in other people and how you can work well with them, and also expose some things that you need to work on yourself. So it's kind of good to start working with other people. Team is a small number of people, complementary to each other's skills, common purpose and a performance goal, common approach, and mutual accountability, and you're going to work within a time frame to achieve this goal. Okay, so why team building is important. You want to enhance your workplace efficiency. Much of our HR is based on group concept. It's based on trying to improve workplace identity and cohesion. Who's heard the term synergy? Synergy within the workplace. Everybody wants to work together. The better everybody works together, the more profitable the company is going to be, the better everybody's going to work. Complexity and issues within teams are a lesson within team building. It creates effective teams that encourage free discussion, open disagreement, expression of feelings, mutual influence, and clear leadership. Team building improves team outcomes. Specifically, process and effective outcomes are most improved by team building. There are 5 stages of team building. Stage 1 is forming. In this stage, members of a team meet and they learn about the roles that need to be filled. Ground rules are set, and the leaders of the group is identified. Stage 2, storming. Individual expression of ideas occur, and conflict arises between the group members. Conflict is normal within a team building setting, okay? Without conflict, you're not going to have a resolution or an outcome, okay? So don't be scared if you disagree with somebody within a group. Make sure you express your opinion. Just don't be extremely confrontational with it and, have the group team building exercise just totally destroyed that, okay? There's always a process of communication. If you have a disagreement, make it heard, make your voice. Low trust of team members is an indicator of this stage. Everybody's getting to know each other, okay? So feel each other out, know whose role is going to be played throughout this exercise or team building exercise or even in a corporate setting, okay? Team leader must remind everyone to be tolerant and patient. Stage 3 is norming. In this stage, habits that support the group, rules, and goals are developed. Members are getting used to the norms of the team group. Team relationships grow, and individual characteristics are better understood and utilized. So by this time, everybody's getting to know each other, getting comfortable, know whose roles or what you're supposed to be doing, okay? So if you got a group of 5 people, you know what your role is, you know what other people are supposed to be doing. If you don't, make sure you make it aware and address what everybody's supposed to be doing, therefore, as a common goal being achieved. Stage 4, performing. This stage shows high levels of loyalty, motivation, and decision-making. The team becomes self-directed in order to meet their goals and carry them out. Okay, so this stage you're going to be performing, you know what your task is, you know what the final goal is for the group, okay? So you're working together to achieve the one common goal. Stage 5, reforming. This is the final stage where everybody takes what they were supposed to do and put it all together to achieve that one common goal and recognize that group achievement, okay? Real simple, everybody's got a task, get your task finished, come together as a group, put it together, and you got your final product, okay? Everybody works together, you're going to have a great product. Some problems within groups. You have feuding members. You know, whenever you got a credit union, the credit union I work for, we got about 120 employees at the credit union. Okay, so that's a big team. You're working with a big team there. There's a lot of different departments. You got accounting, you got marketing, you got the tellers, you got managers, all that. You're working together as a team. Okay, so you're going to have some people that disagree at times. So in order to get around that, you got to make sure you communicate and make things aware. Communication is key in team building. Without communication, the credit union won't be able to last. Okay, that's why we got people that are in charge as the president, CEO, people that had accounting and managers. Then there are overbearing participants. You've been in a group where it feels like somebody just wants to take over the whole thing and do everything and not let anybody else take part of the group. I'm sure everybody's had that problem. Dominating participants, same thing as overbearing. Reluctant participants. That person, usually one or two people in a group setting or even in a corporate setting that rely on other people to do their work or carry on part of their work, okay? And then rush to accomplishment. If you're rushing to accomplishment, you're only going to get probably 60 to 70% of your quality done, okay? So take your time. Make sure you get things done in a timely manner. If you take your time, you're going to get 100% quality and a good product. Here's a good little scenario of a team, okay? And a hangover. They all have a final goal. They're trying to find their missing buddy, okay? Well, within a group, you got somebody that does 99% of the work. The person's working hard, trying to find them, look for clues, in the movie. So this guy's doing 99% of the work. Then you got the guy that has no absolute idea what's going on the whole time. Shows up at the beginning of the meeting and the end of the meeting, okay? And just expects to get the credit. So you don't want to be that guy, okay? In order to be an effective group, everybody wants to put in their good portion. Then you got this guy that looks smart, says he'll help, but he never does. He overextends himself maybe. One thing that I did whenever I first started working is I overbooked. I overbooked for certain things. I mean, I wanted to be involved in so much stuff, but I wasn't, as organized as I should have been. So therefore, I had too many things on my plate for each day, and therefore I didn't get to put enough quality into my work as I wanted to. So make sure you take your time and don't rush into things. And when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And then you got the guy that disappears at the beginning and doesn't show up until the very end. Okay? That's a pretty good thing that every group project in school you've had has ever done. Okay, so key success during team building. You're going to have interdependence, goal specification. If you don't know the goal and how are you supposed to achieve a group's common goal or even a task at hand, okay? So make sure you communicate your role, your team member's role, and how you're going to get from point A to point B, maybe even have a timeline. Timelines are perfect. I use timelines for anything from what I'm going to do this week for the whole quarter, plan out for the whole quarter. I mean, literally for 90 days, I know what I'm going to do each day. It's really good if your boss asks you what you're doing, because then it looks like you know what you're doing. So kind of take key on that. Cohesiveness. You got to have cohesiveness in the workplace, or you're not going to reach what you're going to want to do. Okay? It's just like a team, baseball team. You want to work together. Everybody's got to, somewhat like each other, or be able to work together with each other. If not, then your team's not going to be that great. Everybody's got to understand their roles within the organization and the norms, what's expected, what's not expected. All right? And then communication. Communication, I think, is probably one of the most important things within team building and being in a team. Without communication, there's no team. Okay? Express ideas, opinions, disagreements, agreements. You got to know what you're thinking, what everybody else is thinking. For the conclusion, most likely we're all going to participate on a team in a workplace setting, so as we already have in education settings. The dynamics of the team and its members play out naturally and important to interconnectedness and interpersonal growth. Like I said, when you're working within a team, you're going to find out some things about yourself that you probably didn't know. And so if you have an opportunity to be in a team in a workplace, volunteer. It also looks good in your part with your boss. If you want to get a promotion, it shows your willingness to work with other people. Okay? Team building strategies, which vary from small activities to multi-day retreats. They can help effectiveness and efficiency of a team. Conclusion continue. It is vital that team members can understand themselves and how others understand them in the team settings. The 5 stages of team building are important, especially for team leaders to understand how their team is developing and that wish to guide their team to successful goal accomplishments. A team without building risks judging being a group of people. Okay, so let that sink in a little bit. Understand what that means. Because if you're not working on yourself, working on the team, then literally you're not going to accomplish the task at hand. So that was a pretty short little presentation. Last presentation I did, I answered a lot of questions about team building, workplace environments, or confrontations you come into the workplace. Anybody have any questions? Don't be shy at all. There you go.
You said common approach, like with your team. What if you don't have a common approach? What if there's 2 people with very commanding personalities and very distinctive ideas on how to get the final result?
That's a good idea. That's a good question. Well, whenever you got, say, in the workplace, a lot of times you get people to feel it out. Okay, for instance, I was on a membership advisory board for a credit union. How we're going to, gain membership. Well, there's multiple people that have, you could say, level roles within the credit union, VPs, and a couple managers, and they think their idea is just as good as the other. Right? Is that kind of what you're asking? Okay, well, that's when the communication's involved. You got other team members that got to express it. If the other team members in the group don't, say what they think about the, you could say, upper management roles or upper management ideas. Like, for instance, I thought that our VP of Business Lending's ideas were better than our VP of Accounting. So I'd have to express my thoughts and ideas on what that person says. Because within a group, you got to communicate. So, you got these 2 people battling it out. Well, you got to have the other people that, are under management that can voice their opinions so everybody else can kind of go along with it, okay? Because you'll find within a group, once you start doing that, everybody else kind of funnels themselves towards one or the other. It's kind of like an election, in the beginning stages, the 5 stages, everybody's kind of doing that. They're funneling their way towards the common goal, towards the idea that they want to go to. So, within a group setting, if it's working right, if y'all, work together, then eventually y'all find that common direction you want to go towards. Or there's a compromise. A compromise, you can take both ideas and work towards them together, or parts of both ideas, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question? Any other questions? Come on. It's only 15 minutes. None? Let's see. It represents some different things to your experience within groups, possibly, or whenever you're working, in school projects. I'll do that in there because I remember when I worked in school projects, you typically have somebody that does the majority of the work, somebody that has no clue what's going on, somebody that shows up for the first meeting, and to give the credit, So, it just shows some different roles that people play and some things that you don't want to do whenever you're in a team setting. Okay, because for instance, if you do, Zach Gopinakis, I think that's his name, he has no idea what's going on the whole time. If you do that work, more than likely you're going to get fired. You're not going to last 90 days. Okay, so you're not going to be able to get those benefits, your health insurance, all that kind of good stuff. When you get in the workplace, you want to show your ability to adapt, your ability to change, your ability to work well with others. If you can't do that, more than likely you're not going to get the job or you're not going to stay at your job. That makes sense? All right. Any other questions? Quiet crowd. funny. Shoot.
What would be your most memorable team?
Memorable team building. I did this thing for Beaumont. It was called Leadership Beaumont. And it was through the city and the chamber here. And they take, there's I think about 40 people within different organizations and businesses. And I got asked to do it from the credit union, and it was a really good experience. But so they take 8 people from the 40 and put you in a group, 5 different groups, okay? And then they give you a topic that we all have no idea about, and we have to put together a presentation. Our topic was youth alcohol and drug abuse, something that we didn't specialize in, as marketing or PR person, okay? So we all had to work together and put together who's going to be doing what. And there's a lot of people, from different business owners, accountants, lawyers, and stuff like that. Everybody is at that top role. They think that they're supposed to be the one that directs. And so it took a while. It took us, we met twice a week for about 3 weeks straight. And there was a lot of butting heads and a lot of, turmoil within the group of who's going to be doing what or how this program is going to be ran. And, it took a little bit of time for us to settle down and find, okay, we're trying to reach a common goal and do something for the common good. Let's not fight about it. Let's work together. And then finally we got to do a good presentation. And it worked really well. And we actually made a difference in the community. So, I mean, it was pretty interesting because we had a short timeline, a lot of stuff to do. So that was probably my most memorable.
What would you say you learned?
How to work well with a new group within a short period of time, and use other resources available that, I didn't really know that were out there. And it was a great networking experience, If you volunteer yourself to be in a team building situation, you're going to be able to network and find out what other people are doing. You might be able to find yourself a new job or a new pay raise, You never know what's going to be out there. So put yourself out there and get involved, do stuff. And that's how I found my job that I'm working currently right now at the credit union. Prior to this, I was working at Channel 12 making commercials for NBC. So I was getting involved out in the community, met our president, CEO, and offered me the job I have now. So you never know what opportunities are out there unless you get involved. Shows you work well done. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, I guess that is the end of the presentation.